cannot think of a better opening speaker than Kohl Crecelius. Kohl has done social good in so many different ways since 2007 as a student. When he went with a trip with some of his friends to Uganda, he took that trip to share crocheting tips and skills to displaced women in Uganda. And since then, he's founded Crochet Kids International, a nonprofit lifestyle brand focused on empowerment to engage customers in making a sustainable impact in a global economy. We hope his story inspires you to really reach your true potential. And please give a warm ACPA welcome to Kohl Crecelius.
Baby, whether you're high or low, or whether you're high or low, you got to tip on the tightrope. Tip on the tightrope. Baby, baby, whether you're high or low, baby, whether you're high or low, you got to tip on the tightrope. Now let me see you do the tightrope.
Hi guys. How we doing? You look great. I'm so excited to be here. I have a special thank you to ACPA for scheduling this event. When they did, I was able to get in my finals for my cheerleading competition. The blue face paint was a little bit hard to get off between finals and now, but the leotard actually fit right under the outfit, so that was great. I'm gonna start off with a quick video about Crochet Kids, so please your attention up there, and I'll get these.
It started with an idea, a simple act in response to a call for help. It started by listening, because everyone has a voice, because we all deserve dignity, because people are willing and capable. Empowerment requires much more than a single transaction or temporary assistance. An opportunity to flourish does not start with a handout. It starts with a job. Work provides worth. Education breeds innovation. Mentorship nourishes relationship. It's about investing in the whole person, because people are worth it. Because everyone has a dream for their future. What would the world look like if we viewed the success of others as our own? What if you could equip someone to not just survive, but thrive? What if you could play a role in this process? What if you could know who made your product? And what if their life would never be the same because of it? This is empowerment.
So we'll get to unpack these themes and these ideas that we call empowerment and that I think are very relevant to all of you guys. But first, I need to tell you a little bit about myself. Grew up in inland Northwest in a little town called Spokane, Washington. My people. Grew up there, action sports was always a big part of my life. My dad had us skiing when we were 2 and 3 years old, or we were wakeboarding or skateboarding or what have you. But it wasn't until high school that my life took a drastic turn. Sounds really dramatic, right? It was. My older brother came home from his freshman year at college, and he was crocheting. And I didn't think this was going to be a drastic shift for me, but it ended up being one in a big way. It started out by me and my 2 good friends learning this skill and then starting this custom beanie business where we would sell hats to our good friends or teachers or parents, friends, or whoever. And we were dubbed by a local newspaper the Crochet Kids. And as you might imagine, being in high school, there's one goal: senior prom. And we did it to what we thought the maximum. The tuxes were an obvious, and then from there we had a hot air balloon ride, rented out a roller skating rink for our friends, all from the revenue we generated from selling these hats. And we had thought life had reached its pinnacle at that point. Luckily for us, and I hope that you guys can attest to this as well, there's more to life than your senior prom. So we went on from there and tried to leave crocheting and all of that behind us. Instead, we found ourselves while in college traveling. We went to different schools, really just had this desire to learn and gain a little bit more of a global perspective. Put a face and an understanding to these statistics that we heard every day. And what we found was that we met people. We didn't meet statistics. We met people that were full of hopes and dreams for their future. It was a very different picture of poverty and its potential solutions than we had ever known. On one of these trips, we found ourselves in northern Uganda, and I'm not sure if any of you are familiar much with the story that has been unfolding there over the last couple decades, but to give you a quick picture of that, these were refugee camps. They were called IDP camps, and they were originally built to protect the people of northern Uganda from a rebel army that was terrorizing the north part of the country. And what was meant to be temporary, maybe 1 or 2 years, ended up keeping people in these camps living without proper sanitation, without access to jobs or education or other opportunities for over 20 years. And more, while we were there, we kept asking the same question. We said, what, if anything, could we do to help? We're halfway through college at this point. We don't have a lot to offer, but that was our question. And more, we got the same response, and it was this: we want to work. We want to be the ones to provide for ourselves. And this was a really interesting concept for us, to be honest, because we had known charity to be one thing, that coming from an affluent country, we knew that we had resources and that we were called in some way to give of those resources. But when asked that question, what do you want? They didn't ask for money. They didn't ask for anything from us other than work, other than an opportunity to begin to provide for themselves. And so we thought on this. Went back to our hometowns and asked friends and family, and more consistently we got the same response: you should teach people to crochet. And while I was initially opposed to the idea, because I was like, okay, global poverty, crocheting, I don't get it. Like, how does this work? But the more that I thought about it, I realized the simplicity of the craft, the fact that you didn't need heavy machinery, the fact that you didn't even need electricity to do these things was a bonus. And the other thing was that we actually knew how to do it. We didn't know how to do much. I think outside of crocheting, there was like maybe 2 other things we knew how to do. So it was an easy place to start for us. This was us on our first day after we trained the first group of 10 women in Uganda this skill. We traveled there and with the help of local organizations, identified a group of women that we could start this concept with, and saw so many great opportunities in that. Our goal in starting out, and what remains to this day, is to empower people to rise above poverty. And for us, that meant that we had to be equipping people with the tools, skills, and resources to be completely independent. We didn't want to be another aid organization that came in and that just created this cycle of dependency year after year and didn't provide people opportunities to go further. And so we really had to question and ask what that meant. We knew we could do one thing, and that was we could start with a job in crocheting. But we quickly realized that while that was really important to take care of all the immediate needs of a person, that there was so much more to people, that we were made up of a lot of complex parts and pieces, and we needed to address the full breadth of a person and who they were. And so we decided to, over a course of time, build a 3-year education program that helped them understand and process through everything from health and family planning to budgeting and savings, and even future career planning. And to do this, we hired local mentors. The best way that I can explain what they do, and something that you guys will get very quickly is they're like a college counselor. They're an advisor. They help take all this new learning and experience and look at the skill sets of the women that they mentor one-on-one and think about what's next for their future. Think about how to contextualize all these new things into a plan that works for them, that they can be even independent from Crochet Kids. And that's what we feel like empowerment is. That's what we feel like the true measure of our success is. Today, Crochet Kids International works in Uganda and Peru, employing over 150 women through the production of products like this hat and this sweatshirt and a whole range of items. The beautiful thing, though, is that the work that we do doesn't end on the ground. It actually really, in many ways, is just the beginning, because these items are made. And where we started out with hats, we've since, as I mentioned, branched into other things, creating bags and a whole line of apparel and a whole lifestyle collection of products. But what's even cooler is not that through your purchase, people get to support this work and get to help this continue on, but more so that every piece we make is hand-signed by the person that we made it, or that made it. And we want to make this connection, and we want to draw these lines and connect the dots for people to realize that people living in these far-off circumstances, that they share, what they do share together, their hopes for the future, their dreams, what they want to accomplish, their capabilities, because those are the human truths that we all share and that we all can support one another in. And so by visiting our website, our customers get to learn a little bit about Beatrice. They get to learn about her story and how their purchase is impacting her specifically. The true measure, as I mentioned, of our success, what we call empowerment, is this, and this is a picture of it. This is Beatrice, who was originally one of our 10 women who crocheted with us in Uganda, has now graduated from our program. She's running 3 other businesses that she started from her savings and from her access to capital and from her learning at Crochet Kids Uganda, to support her family right now and for the long, long term, standing on her own 2 feet and being proud of every step that she takes forward. And that is beautiful. But I'll tell you this, I have, as you might have guessed, 2 really big ideas to share with you. I devoted a whole slide to it. You know it's important. I would start out by saying this, though, that I didn't come here to tell you how awesome I am or how great the work of Crochet Kids is. I'm here to tell you that it's not good enough. That if you're here to think, or if any time that you get to hear a little bit about what we do, or other people that are doing exciting things, like, your reaction can't just be to sit back and be like, man, glad he's doing that, because I do not want to. You can't put that here, because the truth is we can only ever do so much. For us, it was crocheting, and it was making an impact in the developing world. What is it for you? I used to get really bummed when people would come up to me and they'd say, Cole, it's great what you're doing, but why aren't you working in these other countries? Or why aren't you doing more? Why don't you work here at home? And I'd be like, guys, come on. I'm trying my best here. But it wasn't until I was introduced to this idea of symphonic justice that I really was able to wrap my head around what all this meant. And the idea is this, that we all play a role in this symphony. If we want change to happen on a global level, on any level, that it's going to take all of us using our unique skills, gifts, and talents in ways that are thinking about other people outside of ourselves. And that's what changes, because we can only do so much. And I guarantee you that if crocheting thought about a little bit differently and applied in a different context could make an impact like this, I bet there's skills and gifts, or I know for a fact there are skills and gifts that you guys have in this room that could make an even greater impact than a hobby generally reserved for elderly people. I know it. And so I just ask you, what is that thing? The other idea is this, that we need everybody not only on the front lines, but that it's every role. Never think that your role is insignificant in whatever capacity that is. One of my favorite quotes of all time is this. It was written by guy named Chuck Palahniuk, is probably the only uplifting thing maybe he's ever written, or at least I've taken it and applied it to be uplifting. It says, "Nothing of me is original. I am the combined effort of everyone I have ever known." And I believe that to be true for myself. I believe that to be true for Crochet Kids. But I can't help but think about the opposite of that, right? If I'm the combined effort of everyone I have ever met, what is it that I'm offering? And that's the question that I want to leave you guys with is how are you shaping the world and the people around you? The position that you're in to get to be involved and in touch with students every single day is something that's magical. Because I can speak from my experience, and it's this, that Crochet Kids isn't the result of me being this like fearless leader charging into Africa with crochet hooks and yarn. It was of mentors, it was of educators who didn't tell me I was crazy, or if they did, charged me up to say I could do this. It was of family who supported me, as of friends who loved and supported as well, and it was all those things that have helped me to be in whatever position I am, and it's what helps me to continue and move forward. And your guys' role is so important in seeing dreams of this generation continue forward. Believe in people. Believe in their capabilities. Empower them. Equip them with the tools to be so much better than you could ever be. And that is so beautiful. I hope that in whatever way possible, that our story, my story, could be somewhat of an inspiration, somewhat of an encouragement, somewhat of a motivation for you as you leave this session, as you think through the rest of ACPA, as you go back to your college campuses. But even more, I hope that you do something with it. That don't leave it up to Crochet Kids International. We'll only do so much. We need you guys inspiring in the next generation in everything that you do. I have one last thing to leave you with. I'll tell you that I'll be around in the exhibit hall. We can talk more. I'm excited to be here. But of all of this, if you won't listen to me, I'd hope that you'd listen to this message from the president. It's kind of an important dude. I don't know. So I'm leaving you here, and enjoy.
The time to be awesome is now. I'm doing this video for Crochet Kids. Crochet Kids.
Crochet Kids.
Crochet Kids.
Crochet Kids.
Crochet Kids.
Crochet Kids.
Crochet Kids. Crochet Kids. See, this is a handmade hat. Check out the tag. That's the person who made this hat. Every day we make choices. Choices like, I'll go to school or not. Will I be nice or not? Will I wear pants? I sure hope so. See? I declare that we all choose fun. In this video, I got something really important to say. Guys, trying to make a video. Ugh, get this off of here. Not cool, guys. So, all right, are we ready? All right. The most important thing in the world is ice. You know what? We got choices to make. Sometimes people try to throw things at you. Dance anyway.